3 of JJK.
Dude, when the trailer for season 3 of JJK dropped, people were upset. People were like, the animation looks sloppy, this looks way worse than season 2 and way worse than season 1, and everyone was clowning on those people, this and that. I was clowning on those people because I was like, one, anime trailers are notoriously awful. Like,
Yes.
for whatever reason, it's part of, like, Japanese culture to show almost nothing of any new anime dropping. Remember when the Demon Slayer movie was like,
JJK
check out
season 3 looks worse, and before you get angry, no, this isn't a hate video. This is a warning. Because after everything Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 delivered, the animation highs, the emotional trauma, the absolute chaos of Shibuya, season 3 is walking into the most dangerous position an anime sequel can be in: expectation overload. And that's exactly why JK season 3 already looks worse than people expected.
But, so the trailer came out, people were complaining that the animation looked bad, because they were taking screen grabs of, like, Yuta and comparing it to the movie and showing that he has, like, less detail in his face. Yuta do be looking psychotic in this season.
Dude, the pose he hit when he's introduced, where he's like holding his little sword and he's just for some reason like throwing one leg back. I'm like, Yuta, it's like, we get it, Yuta. We see the fit.
Yeah, and then when episodes 1 and 2 came out, I was seeing TikToks again of people being like, the animation's sloppy, it's lazy, where'd all this budget go? Did they blow it on season 2 and Chainsaw Man? I saw people being like, oh, I thought MAPPA hired more people so they could split their team between JJK and Chainsaw Man. Because the reason Chainsaw Man was taking so long to come out is because it was just like all of MAPPA working. It was like the JJK team was also doing Chainsaw Man. And so now MAPPA has like expanded and split its teams between the two shows. And people were like, where'd all the budget go? This and that. And here's what I'll say. When I saw people saying that, I was just instantly ready to fight them before seeing these episodes, because I knew MAPPA was going to cook on this.
100%.
This season looks so fucking weird and so fucking different from season 2, which already looked different from season 1, that while people are...
Season 2 set an impossible standard. Let's be honest. Season 2 wasn't just good, it was exhausting in the best and worst ways. Every episode felt like a breaking point. Non-stop action. Characters dying left and right. Animators pushed to the edge, emotional beats stacked back to back. Shibuya wasn't just an arc. It was an event. And now Season 3 has to follow that. That's the first red flag. Because once an anime peaks that hard, anything that feels slower, messier, or less explosive automatically feels like a downgrade, even if it's faithful to the manga.
Objectively wrong in saying that the animation is worse, because it's just not.
Yeah.
I'm more sympathetic towards the average person who would go, this just isn't the show that I signed up for. Like, this is not the same art style anymore.
They have dripped, like, they have been slowly dunking JJK into a bucket labeled artsy as fuck one season at a time. It's like, season 1 is the most fucking, like, boilerplate ass, like, it's like high-level animation, but it's like Demon Slayer, where it's like, oh, this is gorgeous, but it's not, like, artsy. And then season 2, they're like, what if everybody was a squiggle, but it was the sickest squiggle you've ever seen? And then season 3, like, fuck it, it's avant-garde. It's fucking, you know, if you don't understand it, you don't understand it, you goddamn classless asshole.
I know season 2 was like, oh, what if we, like, take a page from these more modern anime, like Mob Psycho, and, like, really experiment with camera movements and, like, lower some detail for high mobility. And season 3 is like, fuck it, what if all the colors were broken?
What if everything was, like, kind of red and blood was everywhere and it's gonna be fucking incredible? And you're like, I'm buckled up. I guess you'll have to take me for this ride.
Dude, I audibly went whoa a couple of times while watching this, and I don't react at all when no one's paying me.
Yeah. You're just running bits to yourself. You're like, fuck, write that down. This is good material.
When, God, when Yuji, so just to be clear, let's just say, like, what do you rate these two episodes?
Oh, I'm trying to differentiate in my mind what happened in these two episodes individually.
Episode 2 is
so I
a
guess
lot less than episode 1, I think.
season 2 is episode 2 is like a lot of Naoya, which is the hardest name to say in all of JJK, and then episode 1 is a lot of Yuji versus Yuta. So both episodes are ridiculously action packed. Actually,
No,
I'm
you're
gonna
right.
say
The chaos fatigue problem. Here's something JJK fans don't like to admit. Constant chaos stops feeling special. Season 3 adapts arcs that are more complex, more fragmented, less emotionally focused, way heavier on cursed technique logic. This isn't Shibuya 2.0. It's information dense, brutal, and narratively messy by design. And that works on paper. But in anime form, that kind of structure risks confusion, pacing, whiplash, and disengagement, especially for anime-only viewers. If viewers start asking what is even happening too often, hype turns into frustration. MAPPA's production cloud is impossible to ignore. We can't talk about JJK Season 3 without talking about MAPPA. Season 2 looked incredible, but at a cost. Animator burnout, production crunch, public criticism, behind-the-scenes chaos. Now ask yourself this. Is MAPPA really going to outdo Season 2 under the same conditions? If animation dips even slightly, fewer standout cuts, more still frames, less fluid combat, fans will immediately say, Season 3 looks worse. Not because it's bad, but because expectations are unrealistic.
both these episodes are like low to mid nines. They're great.
Yeah, episode 1 really blew me away. When the bridge starts collapsing, and then there's like a POV, we are the bridge, briefly.
Yes.
That shot's spectacular. And then Yuji, one of my notes is, my first note is, the tone is fucked.
Because like Yuji's like washing his blood of all like washing all the blood off his hands, and then he's sitting in, like what appears to be like an abandoned church, just drowning in red light as Chozo's like it's like very clearly like he's like covered in the blood of everyone Sukuna's killed as he's like sitting alone in the dark, and Chozo just comes out of nowhere.
Dude, the tone's so fucked. I went back and watched episode 1 of season 1, and I was like, this is just not the same anime. Like, they got so experimental and so artsy. Season 1 is so, like, just an expensive version of a very, like, boilerplate, like, standard shonen anime. Like, the camera movements are all, like, very typical. It's well animated, but there's no fucking, like, POV, you are the bridge, or anything like that.
I'd say the artsiest thing that we really get from season 1 is like maybe like Yuji and Nobara versus the blood womb paintings, maybe. Like that's a pretty cool fight where like you see like Nobara like launching nails and that kind of thing, and like Yuji throws Nobara on her back and they're sprinting through the forest. But even that is just like creative usage.
Season 3 has fights, a lot of them, but many lack the same emotional setup. They're brutal, strategic, creative, but they're colder. And when fights lose emotional grounding, they stop feeling iconic, even if they're technically impressive. That's another reason Season 3 might feel worse to fans, even if it isn't.
People are pretty upset about though, and honestly they might be kind of justified, because there's a scene in Yuji versus Yuta in the manga where Yuji gets a car basically like thrown at him by Yuta, and so like he has to like jump over a car, and he grabs the car and then punches the car into Yuta, and people are like, they cut that scene entirely, which people are really upset about because they feel as though it undermines how strong Yuji is in this moment.
Character disconnect is coming. I believe here's another uncomfortable truth. JJK Season 3 sidelines fan favorites. Gojo, gone. Emotional anchors, reduced. Moral clarity, completely shattered. What replaces that is cynicism. Power escalation, survival logic, that tonal shift is intentional, but it's risky. Because a lot of fans didn't sign up for this version of JJK, they signed up for cursed energy, cool fights, and characters they emotionally connect with. Season 3 tests that loyalty. Let's be real. The phrase JJK fell off is inevitable. Not because the story collapses, but because the tone changes, the pacing feels harsher, the spectacle feels different, the emotional highs are less frequent. Fans confuse discomfort with decline. And season 3 is uncomfortable by design. That's why backlash is coming. JJK. Season 3 could still be great. Now here's the balance. JJK. Season 3 could still be incredible if MAPPA stabilizes production. The anime clearly explains its complex mechanics. Emotional moments are allowed to breathe. Chaos is structured, not rushed. Season 3 isn't about hype. It's about consequences. And that kind of storytelling always divides fandoms. JJ. Season 3 looks worse. Not because it's weaker, but because it's entering the most unforgiving phase of the story. J. Season 2 was explosive. JJK Season 3 is punishing. And not everyone is ready for that shift. The real question isn't whether Season 3 will be bad. It's whether fans are ready for this version of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like and comment what you guys think.